All right, next up, we go back to ACC action. Georgia Tech, NC State. Georgia Tech, 6.5-point road favorites. 57 the total here in this game. I believe we're good with weather at Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh for this one between the Yellow Jackets and the Wolfpack. Georgia Tech, I'll tell you what, dismantled Syracuse over the weekend, 41-16. How about that? They've actually covered as double-digit favorites 2 times in a row, which hasn't happened all that regularly for Georgia Tech. Long term,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, exactly. Long term, they're not a great double-digit favorite, but 35-20 against Virginia Tech, 41-16 the last 2 times they've been in that role. We'll see how it goes here against NC State. NC State's just got a brutally bad defense. We've talked about that all year. They're allowing what's funny, their run defense numbers are, believe it or not, they're not that bad. So it's a very interesting dynamic here where they're only giving up 4.1 yards per carry, 130 rushing yards per game. That's not that bad. So it actually matches up decently with, obviously, Georgia Tech wants to run the football quite a bit with Haynes King, Jamal Haynes, and that great offensive line, which has been good at opening up holes for the run game. They prefer to pass it less, but it's the secondary. It's the pass defense of NC State that's been absolutely atrocious. So, this could be a spot where Georgia Tech's, the one thing NC State's good at defensively is, a little bit at least containing the run. It's the pass that they've been shredded in. Not necessarily not exactly the style or the operating procedure that Georgia Tech wants to employ. They want to be run first, not pass first, but it's the pass defense that's been ripped. This could be a bit of a dangerous spot here for Georgia Tech just because NC State, for as bad as their defense is, C.J. Bailey can move the football. They can still score points. Even in the 53-34 beatdown at the hands of Pitt last week where they got shredded for 423 through the air, C.J. Bailey still had 225 passing yards. They ran for 159, led by Hollywood Smothers. So, you look at NC State here. I would be shocked if this is a game. And I love Georgia Tech. I love Haynes King. But NC State has been decent against the run. It's been the pass where they've been shredded. So necessarily might fit a little bit better against Georgia Tech style of offense. So maybe a lean to NC State here, plus 6.5. Just got a weird feeling that this could be a close game. This could be one where Georgia Tech does struggle to get past a very game NC State Wolfpack team at home. And especially when you factor, I believe, and someone in the chat is alluding to it. No, actually, they don't have a look ahead, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's got Boston College after this. So isn't a look ahead, but like I said, I just get that feeling NC State is a home dog. Might be able to stay inside the number. Not sure I'll bet it, though. C-Mac, what do you think?
I don't know if I can bet them here. This team's just been awful. Going back to when they lost to Virginia Tech at home, then they struggled with Notre Dame, and then they just got ripped in the air by Pitt, 53 points. But it seems like everyone is going to want Georgia Tech here, that this is just a layup. It's just, can NC State play a little bit of defense? They're going to need maybe some turnovers and to do some stuff in this game. And then the offense has to be good here with Bailey and others. So when you look at the defense, they're all right, I guess, against the run, 130 yards. Still it seems like Georgia Tech could do what they want. And you're right, one of the worst teams against the pass, 278 yards for the NC State team. But Georgia Tech could still throw it. It seems to me this game gets over. Like when these two teams play, there's just usually a bunch of points. I know this total's up there, but I lean over. I think if you like Georgia Tech, take their team total maybe here. It seems like both. If they get as many points, they might not cover, but if they get over 30, they get their team total here.